already paid, or it's in here.
Okay, I just got that notice and just now opened it. We get refunded.
Oh, they need a letter of release from the obligee. Okay.
Okay, the obligee, now would that be you or Glenn?
Glenn.
I didn't know if it'd be you or Glenn, since you've taken his position, you're now the obligee, I thought, but maybe not. But anyway, that's why I handed you one way or another there. If you need help with it, holler.
Okay.
I'll do what I can do, but I knew you had the paperwork that I needed.
Okay.
Okay.
Get that letter going.
How's everything going?
Going okay.
Good, good, good. I stuck my head in your office just the other day for a moment, and you were busy, but I just basically want to know if you have any problems. Are you going to remain in your little cubicle, or are you going to move over to the other cubicle? Or?
Actually, I'm using the other space for my client to job search. A lot of job searches are now online, so I have a little sign-in sheet, and they can use that computer.
You can jump back and forth.
Yeah, I kind of like my space.
If you need to. So you like your little cubicle there that you like, and leave your purse there, and you can run back and forth.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Well, good. What kind of paperwork you got today? Just a normal?
Yeah.
Jason Farmer won't be here today, Michelle.
Oh, okay.
He called. He won't be able to make it. I don't know if I told you yet or not.
Okay.
Usually there's 3 sheets.
Well, we don't have GA except once a month.
Okay. Oh, I was looking here, you got bonded too. I thought you was already bonded, but you wasn't already bonded. You have to do bond. Okay. You would think it'd just transfer his name to yours and wouldn't be no exchange. Instead of them reimbursing bond money, they just change the person on the bond. Are you having any problems with your new phone service down there since we switched?
No.
Okay. I'm going to be asking different people that.
It's going to be a lot cheaper too.
Oh yes. We're going to save some money for the county on that. That's for sure. But I'm asking most officers whether they're satisfied with the service and everything. Can they tell a difference? Okay. Anything you need from us this morning?
Nope, I'll just call Jill about this and get this letter going.
Okay. Let me know if you need any further information on that.
Okay, Billy. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Okay.
Larry, here's the ball game. How's everything going with the county?
All right.
smooth, smooth? That's what we like to hear on the road, smooth, smooth, smooth.
Well, there's some rough ones out there we're working on.
Yeah, I've got a couple calls here lately by people,
Got a complaint, yesterday, Larry, I don't know what the man's gonna do about dust. I said, well, you know, I don't,
one day it does, next mud.
you know, I'll tell him that I don't know what to be done about it, sand bale up there, just before you get to Johnson County on Rice Hill, something or another road.
Yeah.
The road's good. I'll go through there.
Yeah, I was up there
You
Friday,
you took
and
a load
there's
too
a
up
couple
there.
places that were rough, but I think they graded it yesterday, so.
Well, that, and you'd hauled, several of them up there on the hill and stuff.
Yeah. As an FYI, even to Michelle, contractor called me yesterday, and he's finally got right of entry, some red tape on the bridge. So he's planning to be back tomorrow and probably close the road and tear the bridge out. So that road we'll inform everybody, but it'll probably close either tomorrow or Thursday for extended period of time now.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a month or so to get that put back in. A lot of work to do, so.
Well, but they won't be able to use it, will they? You can tear the bridge out, you said a month or so, it was?
To get everything put back. New bridge put back in.
You mean the new bridge installed?
It took about a month the last time.
Really?
Yeah.
I figured all winter. I mean, I didn't see the.
I'm being optimistic now.
Depending on weather.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good if man could get that back in there.
You know, there's a lot of dirt, lot to be done, but the bridge, literally, the last time, I think it was like 21, 22 working days on the bridge itself. And what I'm going on is, that's what we paid the flagger, was like 21, 22 days for the railroad. Now, there were some things that we did that didn't involve the flagger, but I'm gonna be optimistic and say, I'm gonna hope that.
Well, if anybody can, he can do it. Well, Larry, how will they get that, old debris out of there? How do you do that? I mean, will that track will reach down in there?
I don't know. I know how they got the last one out. They used crane. But now I don't know how they're planning to get this one out.
What's
That-
unusual? What's unusual about this one?
It's the same as the last one.
Are they the same height, basically?
Basically, they're almost, I'd say almost identical bridges. Not exactly, but you know, generally they're the same as what the last one was. The last time they did, of course, you gotta have a flag there in case
Drop something.
you drop something. You know, anytime you're working in that corridor.
So you have to have one on each end about half a mile or better up the track, or?
What, flagger? No, they have one. You have one at the track, and then you have signs
Excuse me.
that warns the train.
Wow.
It's quite a process. He
is
has
that-
signs, and every crew that comes through there knows he has control of the track, that flagger, and they cannot come through. They have to stop at his red flag, which is 300 feet up the track.
In other words, they're slowed down when they get there.
They know he's there, and he has control of the track, and they have to call him in advance
Okay.
and say, we're here, and he says at that point, come to my red flag and stop, and they don't like that. Or he says, we're clear, come on through the construction site.
How to reduce speed, probably? Yeah.
There's so much red tape, and this all is involved with the Federal Highway Administration. They're pushing it all. So, you know, we're all locked into it, and the railroad's really locked into it, so.
Larry, I'd say that machine will reach down about 23 feet.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna try to do it with the excavator, and the other thing is, with the flagger there, he can take the excavator down on the right of way, and they may take him down there and take it out.
How did he have to haul that around the other side, or was he able to cross the track?
When?
Well, when.
The other day, he hauled around.
He hauled it.
Yeah, up here the other day, he hauled around. Up on the other bridge, they allowed him to put timbers between the tracks, and he crossed the tracks. Can't touch the rail, but as long as he puts timbers in, it keeps his tracks, that excavator across the track. And they allow that.
I had a call on, Evercamp Road. There seems to be a pothole, really large pothole, right at the edge of the road. Most people are missing it, but, if you ever meet somebody, you were gonna hit it. I seem to have lost my paperwork on exactly the location, other than I know it was in Evercamp.
Not a real long road, so I'm sure we can find it.
It was right over, yeah, it's right over a hill, right there, but, on that one. And then, this is not really your alley, but I had a gentleman complaining about how the roads were listed on the computer. In other words, someone called 911 or whatever, and they respond to it. They said Altenberger Road and Guinea Road are switched, and I told them to get hold of, Keith Davis, and, they don't seem to get it squared away. But if you pull it up, send a squad or something there, the two roads are switched. I mean, they're a mile apart, but somehow they're switched. Or they call them both the same or something, and I'm not know if you're familiar with that or not.
I know where they're at.
Yeah. And you wouldn't have anything to do with it.
No, I've never seen that. Now, I will tell you, if they're using Google Map or stuff like that, they've got roads down there shown on Google Map that don't even exist.
Maybe this
And it may be where it's at. I've had some complaints in that area, and they show roads there that don't exist, and I have told people about it, and I said, well, did they exist? I said, no, there's never been roads there, and they're showing them on this GIS. Oh, I know, it was an insurance company. I said, they're using the electronic GIS, and I says, hey, if you look up my house address, it does not show my house where it's at. On Google Map, Yahoo Map, none of it.
Mr. Fix complained about people that use that to go to the forest and end up in his driveway.
But are they using the Google site, basically, instead of like but our 911 system and your system, they know where to go, correct?
Yeah, but we have no control over Google Earth.
No.
I understand that, but fire trucks, ambulances, and things like that, your deputies are gonna respond correctly.
Yeah.
That's the main thing right there.
Our system's good.
Our systems are good in the county, it's just, we can't control what Google puts out there. Okay, thank you.
Like I said, I looked up, I got this on the personal insurance on my house. My insurance company says, oh, we've changed our system, we're going to electronic system, GIS and all that. And I said, but that ain't no good. They don't know where I live by that. And I did Yahoo and Google, and I don't know, at least those two, and it seemed like I did a third one. I got my house down on the state Sealbeck property. Short down around the corner.
Does anybody ever hunt that property down there?
I see a vehicle there every once in a while, and hear some shooting back in there. But I don't know if it's on that or if it's over on private property on the other side of it. But it's not real heavy hunting. I think most of them that hunt it, John, go around to where
Doors.
the old house place. Yeah. And they park over there at Louis' old place, and I think they hunt in from there. Of course, see, that's closer to the woods. Pretty wild park over there by me and walk across that.
Yeah, it looks rough.
Larry, this Sam's Club, fuel and lube, was it grease or
Gas.
oil? Gasoline?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't put that together.
Water trip. can't get there and back without gas.
Larry, I'm gonna ask you an engineering question.
Yes, sir.
You know this fellow that chunked 24 miles? Have you,
Yeah, I
did
saw him,
800 mile an hour? How do you slow down to open a chute
I was wondering that same thing.
without just absolutely pulling your
Don't
body
move the
apart?
tumble. I don't know, that's unreal.
I'm gonna guess that at that high, the air was so much thinner, he probably had to be on oxygen.
Oh, he did.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Okay. And what I understand, I've never skydived, but what I understand is by the position you hold your body in other words, if he did this, he would go faster and then spread out and could slow his body down to breathe.
On a normal.
They
Stand the
he
G's.
went over 800 mile an hour at one point. How
See,
does the
ropes-
body, how does the
ropes
body
aren't
stand that?
There's no air resistance, that's what they.
That's what I'm thinking.
There's no air
Up high, there was
resistance
no
up
air
there.
resistance, and he could do it, and as he come down, the density of the air got bigger, that gave him more resistance, and naturally slowed him down, and then the body, the position he puts his body in, will even slow him down further to the point that he could, yeah, he was running a chance of breaking his neck.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what gets me more than that, I understand the no air resistance, he just like dead space there floating. But what happens when you start entering the atmosphere again? I mean, the space shuttle gets blazing hot. How come he didn't get hot when he went back into the atmosphere? You would think he'd got hot running that speed once you start getting into the atmosphere.
Maybe he wasn't that high. I don't know at what level, I don't know at what level they start heating up. I think it's a lot higher than that. But I don't know.
No. They don't start heating up till they get into the atmosphere, and he was above the atmosphere, so.
I don't know.
Of course, they're running 14,000 mile an hour compared to 800, that might make a difference too. But that's amazing, isn't it? Amazing.
Something that I thought about.
You don't wanna do that.
You remember the guy with Barker Field that got on the back end of that airplane, tried to ride it to Memphis, and fell off there? You remember that, John?
Over here at Barclay?
Yeah, and fell off there.
Mhm.
Well, something Freddie Relmar, which I think he has a license, why? He said that guy would have froze to death for it, just from here to Memphis.
Mhm.
I don't know how high they get, but wouldn't that guy get awful cold up there?
Well, he was in a spacesuit.
I saw
I
him,
mean,
yeah.
he wasn't in just a regular suit.
He was all, but I, you know.
How
But
long,
that wind-
at 800 mile an hour, how long did it take him to fall that 24, to get out of that, see?
Yeah, that's true.
Total fall, 5 minutes.
So you could stand for a short duration,
Yeah, that's
the
true.
body can, especially in a suit.
Mhm.
Well, they
You can
said at
stand
one
on
point
one.
during that there no resistant area, which is quite a ways up, if he'd snagged his suit just a little bit, he would have died instantly.
Is that right?
That's what the news said.
What, would it ripped it off of him? or what?
Just a little snow, a little snag would have, it's
Well, it probably
pressurized,
sucked the oxygen
pressurized.
off.
He would have lost the pressure in his suit or whatever, he would have died. That's what the news said. That's amazing. One other spot, down there at Joppa, just this side of high school, there's a little hill and a little S curve, kinda like there. The gentleman that lives right there, been there many, many years. He seems to think the road is sliding down into that ravine a little bit. I didn't pay that much attention to it, but he said there's a whoop-de-doo, kind of a low speed. He said that hill seems to be sliding, because he lives right there, and he said over the years, it seems to be sliding down into that ditch, which that's natural movement of earth. Plus, all this heavy traffic over the years has probably had a little bit something to do with it. I'm gonna say a couple hundred yards south of the high school.
Everybody, the old grade school.
Yeah, grade school there.
Oh, look at it.
Kinda give that a look and see,
Hey, I can tell you a couple places on our county highways that appear this
things are moving.
thing did it this year.
Okay.
You know, that sewer line busted down there, maybe that caused that. They said they dug it
You
up
can-
several times.
For 13 years, I worked in an industry that tried to pile stuff up 150, 200 foot high. We saw quite a bit of that at different times.
All the way.
Well, that's just
We
like
called
down
them slides, and they were disasters on your work.
there at the old Coy River. Just,
So,
man, I mean, but they evidently knew it was coming, could hear it cracking. Boy, and I mean, looked like half a mountain came down.
Yeah, I've seen that, wow. That looks like all I have on my little list.
Okay, we'll take a look at those two. We're out, we've been doing some pothole patching. Let me tell you, Ted probably already knows about it. We had, a fellow sideswipe one of our dump trucks yesterday. The bad part of it was a former employee of ours.
Who's at fault? I mean, can you say
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if the deputy determined, I haven't seen the final accident report yet, but
Anybody get hurt?
nobody got hurt.
Okay.
In fact, our man saw it coming and tried to, he was making a left-hand turn, and the guy didn't see his signal and went past him. And, so, it did a little damage to our truck, but nothing, but it took out the whole side of it.
It hit the bed or the cab, or both?
He hit the front tire and front axle on the truck, that's all he hit. The guy, he says, I looked back, and where's he at? And noticed he was, hurt his engine right beside him, so he tried to wheel back to the right, and it was too late, and he clipped the front corner of the truck. Of course, those trucks, and this one had about a 5-inch angle iron bumper up there, and that caught the side of the fender and the door, and just ripped it.
Was it an intersection, I mean, you can turn both ways?
Yeah, it was a crossroads, and he was making a left-hand turn, and the guy didn't see the signal and passed him.
Exactly.
So
I've always heard it's against the law to pass the intersection, is that true, Tim, or Ted?
Not a good place to pass.
No.
you know, we don't mark them no passing zones.
Should you have to mark every 10 feet?
You know, it just,
Oh, another question, the road going through Joppa, that's a county highway.
county highway.
Okay. Question was that they thought it was state, and I said, no, I think it's county
County
highway,
highway.
and county maintains it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Larry,
Yeah, no.
tell me again, the road that's gonna be closed,
Sealbeck Road.
Fieldback Road, okay, gotcha.
It's a very low volume, and we've been working up there, so most everybody we was up there for a week here a couple weeks ago until we run out of paperwork.
You have access, I mean,
There's
It's
other ways
easy.
around, yeah, it's,
not that difficult here.
there's, most of the people that live on the east side go east because that's the paved way, and the people that live on the west side, some of them use that road, but they can also go the other way that's closer to the paved road, it's just not as sharp, so.
When do you plan on putting up the signs?
They'll put them up before they close it.
Tell
Which
them
probably tomorrow.
what date's
Yeah.
gonna be closed, I'll
Tomorrow,
pay that, and the local newspaper, maybe most people.
Yeah, and I'll, when we make sure we close it, most people, like I said, know it's gonna happen, because there's road construction sign up there now,
Okay.
so. And I talked to the mailman, so he's expecting, the school bus knows to expect it, it's just a matter of when it happens.
Out of town delivery would be about the only one to make a mistake, and that's not that often. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not too far around on this one,
No.
just half a mile to the south is another road. It's just, if it's an oversized load, and of course, they were limited by a 6-ton weight limit on this one, and so, farmers are looking forward to having this one
All right.
redone, wider and heavier.
That's right.
Thank you, Larry.
Have a good one.
Right.
Ted, you're up. Been off doing schooling again last week.
I took off this towel.
Okay, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Thought maybe he's out getting educated again.
What's Sandy gave me for this week? We got a note from the insurance company yesterday on our radios. First one shows that, how much they appreciated everything, which by the age of what we have, or where they've appreciated a lot of it 50%, but we've also got replacement costs, so. I'll be on the phone with him today or tomorrow to figure out what they're actually gonna give us for the system, then we gotta figure out then what kind of system we're gonna get. I don't know how fast they pay.
I thought everything they had over it almost new. I mean, we've updated so much in the last 3 or 4 years.
Most of the 911 stuff is new, it's the radios, the main base radio and stuff like that. Some of it's like, well, like 7 years old, if it's 6 or 7 years old or older, they take 50% off of it.
Yeah.
But I called Gowers week before last and said we got replacement costs, so that wouldn't matter.
Okay. But you up and running right now, or are you still using city services?
City's dispatching all 911 calls, and we've got 3 radios that we're operating off of. And it's working right now. Everybody, with their help, we're getting by. And I think if, depending on what system we go back with, once we get the money, we should have it up and running in 30 days. Main thing is getting somebody to climb the tower and put the antenna back on again. It's usually the longest holdup, is there's only 1 or 2 people around here that'll do it. Hopefully before bad weather, we'll be back. And I'll keep bringing this up, the money situation getting better. We got like 20,000 in 60 days.
Let's see, where is the paperwork Mr. Sullivan brought in?
It's right here.
Right here.
Is it more until we got Larry's
You can
reimbursement?
Look at it yourself.
After payroll, we were minus 6,800.
Answer that question.
Numbers speak for themselves right there, don't they?
I just asked you a while ago, we had 48 in jail, so, I mean, we're continually overcrowded every day, still holding out a county, but, you know, I'd say by the end of the year, our food and medical over there is gonna be over. And there's just no way we can keep this many people in jail.
Yeah.
They don't seem to care anything about behaving, do they?
No, and it's not getting any better. I mean,
Be a good time going back and lose a little weight, wouldn't it? It's gonna get tough, there's no doubt about it, we all know that. We just have to keep making ends meet. We've survived the last year or two making ends meet, and we might have to do it again. We've tightened our belt up before, we might have to do it again. But we'll make it one way or another. I think we've come up with some ideas to help generate a little new revenue here and there, and maybe it'll help here in the upcoming year. We're gonna definitely need it.
Ted, I just wonder if we could raise the price of keeping those inmates since, you know, expenses are up. Does everybody pay the same? I mean, I know 30, but.
I can tell you what, if we try to raise it, what Ellery, well, his commissioners will wanna go to Saline County. And, I mean, we run into that before. That's what a lot of these people need, first offenders. Try to get them out quicker, but we're just arresting so many people for drugs, we keep it full.
It's not looking any better. I know you're doing a terrific job on that, but hands are full.
May I ask, who pays for that rehab when it's court ordered?
I don't know.
Anybody but us.
If you've got private insurance, I'm sure that does. I don't know if public aid pays part of it.
I bet that is public aid.
But, I mean, it's like 30 to 60 days is all it is. You can't get long-term rehab unless you've got private insurance. And then a lot of that will pay. And 30 to 60 days is not long enough. People that sit in jail will tell you that.
But I think that one thing right there is the key to helping us out. As commissioners, yourself, Patrick, Joe, Judge, we'll have to come up with some way to help that, because that is a big expense, you know that as well as I do. And we're gonna have to do it, we need to continue it, but we're gonna find out some way of paying for it.
The Meth Coalition that we're on, they're trying to come up with some grants, and I think what we really need, and I don't know how we're gonna get it done, is we need a rehab center probably right here in the county, to rehab our own people. It's gonna take some money, as you know, take contact with legislatures and state government. We're at a point now where we could have a center right here in Massac County.
But would it be self-supporting?
No, I mean, rehab's not.
I mean, who's gonna be paying for it if it was right here?
I don't, the state would help, because
That's what I'm saying.
if you don't get them in rehab, the county's paying for it.
Mhm.
The local taxpayers are paying for it right there.
But if we have our own rehab, who's paying for that rehab, is what I was getting at.
I would say the state, federal government,
Okay.
probably pay a lot of it. If it's grant funded, it would go that way.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be all for that.
We have to show a need, and there's a definite need in this county, but it's gonna take the backing, you know, local politicians and state politicians to get it done.
Okay. Okay.
And that's what they're working on right now, some grants.
Yeah, we gotta definitely rely on grants, and John was talking about that earlier this morning. Now, grants very much help us with 50% or 100% of what grants help. Well, that's something we might wanna look into in the future if we can. We gotta figure out something to do to help you out over there. There's a big cost over there, and we gotta figure out how, some way to fund it, because it's not gonna go away.
No, no.
It's not gonna go away, it's just gonna get deeper. But as far as this right here today, you see our condition, we'll continue on.
Carol, you have a question?
Yeah, the medication, the lower tabs, are they still a big problem? You know, I was on those for a while now, I didn't get addicted or nothing, but, they took me off of those and put me on, something that, I don't guess it was near as strong, I could tell the difference in it, you know, for headaches. And why do the doctors keep putting that out there?
You know, I can't answer that. But that, right now, that's one of the biggest problems is prescription medications. If you have somebody in your house, that's the first place they're going, is the medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That program that we've got over there now, the P2D program, if you've got unused medications at home, we have a lot of people that are turning that stuff in. I shipped about 200 pounds off last week to PDA for disposal.
Come on in, sir, have a seat.
Yeah, and it looks like me that the doctors should take that into consideration. Maybe lower tabs all some people could use, but somebody come in there, you know, that's been in trouble for drugs and just give them some more. Kind of strange to me.
There's a big market on the street for them.
Yes.
A big market.
Yeah.
Well, you got your hands full with that, that's for sure, but it's not gonna get any better. You just have to keep working away at it, and we'll have to keep trying to figure out how to fund it. Work together on it and get it done. That's the main thing, we've gotta work together on it.
That's all I got, guys.
You got no good news?
Nope.
Everybody coming in gives us a little good news at least, you know.
Maybe next week.
Okay.
Thank
Hey,
you.
thanks for coming in, Ted.
Hey, Ted, how you doing?
Sir, you're up. Mr. Walsh,
Yes, I am, sir.
I see a name here, I'm not familiar with it. Bill Hillbrown, I'm chairman.
Frank Walsh, I live at, on Holly Lane and Cedar Lane Addition.
Okay, I'm familiar with it.
I actually work for a company who has a contract for the operation of the wastewater treatment plant here. So I operate the plant for the city. I was here, I've been here a little over 4 years. And right after I moved in, I attended one of your meetings and you were talking about the streets and the condition of the streets, how they got there, and I was told that the commission would look into it. 4 years later, nothing's happened. Do you know, I know that you maintain part of the streets. I don't know why you just maintain part of it, not the whole thing. You know, I've heard rumors that the streets, you know, weren't accepted by the county because of the set-asides for the ditches.
Shoulders.
The shoulders, yeah, the shoulders, okay. But that section doesn't look any different than the other sections that you're maintaining throughout the neighborhoods. You know, why do you maintain part of a section and not the whole thing.
Gerald, you're more familiar with that.
Well, I think, Frank, one reason, when that Cedar Lane was built by Kennedy Brothers,
Okay, Kennedy built it?
yeah, from North Avenue to the fence road there, I think.
Mhm.
One requirement was shoulder 2 feet on each side.
Okay.
Now, I don't know when this new law came into effect, but it went to 4 feet. Now, I don't know if those roads were built after that, or you know, if they was built before, why, you know, that would come into play, but if,
Right.
you know.
What
if
they
that-
built in 2000 or something like that, the subdivision? Probably 2000, because my house is 2001, so it may even be in the late 90s.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. I don't know when that was changed to 4 feet. You know.
Who built the second part of that subdivision?
I think Aubrey Jeffrey. Well,
You said Kennedy's built the road running east and west, straight in, which the city accepted that one, I understand.
No, the city hasn't accepted that.
Who's maintaining it?
County's maintaining it.
I thought the city maintained it,
No,
did it?
no.
Excuse
I'm
me.
just a little bit familiar with it.
Okay.
Outside of that one road on Cedar Lane,
Mhm.
nobody has ever, the developer never requested the county engineer to take that in.
Okay, how does the county let people build subdivisions without usurping some of their authority, saying you have to comply with these standards? Didn't the county have standards back then?
He went and they told him what he would take him to do, and he said, well, he would build it where he'd never have to maintain it, and he didn't want the county to take it over. I mean, I don't know that would have to ask our county engineer, because he's been involved with it from the get-go.
I was told when I purchased the place, you know, there's always controversy out there. I was told about the water and the sewer. City's taking over the water, and sewer system's still up in the air. EPA wants the city to take the sewer over, but they're gonna have to do something for the city first. But I was told the roads were county roads when I purchased the property. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. It's, you know, it's 4.5 years later. What plans do we have to doing this? I know people have no trouble taking the tax money. I mean, you know, I know you don't get all of it. The largest part goes to, you know, Massac County schools, which I never have been a part, never will be a part. You know, but that's different subject. What I'm concerned about is the road and the effect it has on the vehicles. You still have your school buses that go through there. I mean, you're creating an unsafe condition by not maintaining these roads. And it's in your jurisdiction to do so. I've seen you maintain roads that are narrower and not put together as well as these out in the county. What's the difference?
Grandfathered in. Those roads have been here for 100 years, and they were landowners on both sides. They can't encroach into the landowners, so they maintain them, or grandfathered in. Newer subdivisions like this, that's when they have standards of so wide and all that stuff. We've got subdivisions here in town. Last month, a gentleman come in about another subdivision, and the man laid it out properly and everything, but the county can't take over that subdivision as far as oil and chip until it's done. They gotta do it first, and then we'll come in, accept it, and maintain it from then on. They never did do it, and they wanted to know why. They just put a little strip down the middle and assumed it was oil and chipped. It wasn't oil and chipped up to specifications for the county, which the county engineer. Correct, Gerald?
yeah.
Okay.
That's
how those things
Does
happen.
the school bus go all the way to the end of that thing?
Yes, it does. It goes all the way through, and it's actually tearing the roads up.
I was thinking they would get on basically private property.
Well, it's not private property, it's a county road. It's not a county maintained road, isn't it?
That's not a county road, is it?
It's not even a county road.
It's not ever been accepted as a county road.
Okay, well, why would the school buses run on it? It's a good question. I'm not familiar with the school bus.
School buses run on there every day.
Mhm.
I mean, not just one school bus, several.
Of course, you might be making some neighbors mad by stopping the school bus and picking up their kids, so.
I'd rather make the neighbors glad and get something done with the road. How do we pursue this?
Yeah.
Who should pursue it?
I understand that.
We went out there, well, you went too also, didn't you?
Do what?
Didn't you and I and, Jason go out there?
Oh, we went out there a couple of years ago when you were talking about all that and looked at it, we walked it all over. But it was determined back then that it still wasn't up to specifications for the county to accept it in.
I think it was the shoulders was the problem, the
So, you
material.
know, it was built but not accepted, it can't be grandfathered in.
I'm not sure how that grandfathering works, other than, that's what it means, it's very old, grandfathered. Anything past a certain date, are you familiar with that?
I do know that the developer has to request the engineer to accept them.
And he never
Accept
requested
it, and
it,
he never requested it.
so that's out of our hands. The developer didn't request for it.
The developer didn't request for it. How does the county let things go like that?
Well, how does anything happen? I mean, you don't,
Well, we know.
you don't go out and put your thumb, I mean, there's a bunch of them out there.
Yeah.
They're not
But
accepted.
But you have one development there, you know, and I thought that was the purpose of rules and regulations is where they were enforceable and we had people that enforced them. Surely, you know, the city is enforcing some of their, city's just as guilty as anybody else. You know, any city I've worked for has had the same problem. You know, if you've had things done, we call it midnight specials. And they, you know, are on the table.
Yeah, like John said, if Gentry never did, or he said he didn't want the county to take it,
That's according to what Mr. Glasgow has told me.
so, you know.
Well,
they
where
didn't
is
know.
Mr. Glasgow, you know?
He's already gone.
But he's in the county engineer's office out on North Avenue, there by the highway department.
Mhm.
And you can speak with him about it, because he would be the one that actually accepts the road.
Okay.
And he could tell you what you need to do to bring it up to acceptance levels.
Yeah, then who's responsible for bringing it up to acceptance? Is it the homeowner's responsibility or is it the developer's responsibility?
Oh.
You know, if we go back and try to sue a developer who, from my account, has went belly up already, is, you know, you can't get blood out of a turnip.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it is, some developers
Well, it's up to the
misinterpret.
developer, I would think.
But the developer's
Well,
non-solvent.
I guess, Frank, anybody could do it, but actually it's his responsibility.
But, you know, then you're talking about a shared expense throughout the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Then you've got the same problem going on. Well, I live in the front half of the neighborhood, why should I support all the way through the system
Yeah.
and pay for the back part? You know, you never get people to agree on a common cause, you know, they're always selfish.
Yeah, Frank, the problem on something like that is all those utilities are in, going down, you know, the side of the road. And the drives are concreted, you know, all that would have to be taken out and
To meet,
squid in the
to
ditch.
meet the 4 foot, now we have to meet the 4 foot, not the 2 foot.
I don't know about that. It has changed, but I don't know if it changed, you know, when they built the thing, if it was still 2 or it was 4.
Yeah, on that though, he might be grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Because it was already established at 2 foot when they built it. Now, anything prior to being built would probably have to go with the new 4 foot standards.
Then we
That's
don't
where your
have, we don't
grandfather
have any
comes in.
idea when these standards took effect or when they're
Oh,
over.
Glasgow, no, because he's the one that did it. But now Frank, he'll be back, you know, what's he get at 9 o'clock or so?
Yeah.
You wanna wait till next Tuesday, or he's.
Yeah, I'll
unless-
talk to, yeah, if that could, I'd really appreciate it, because, you
Yeah.
know, I'd like to get some answers, you know, and, you know, I'm not trying to push the blame on anybody, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get the problem fixed, where it's, you know, equitable to all, because, you know, it does affect property values. You know, as the road deteriorates, I can see my house value going down in
Yeah.
potential property value, because my taxes have done nothing but raise since I've been there.
You would probably get more resolved in his office than you would in here, but that's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You can do either one, but you'd probably get more resolved.
He's got a bridge going, he may not even be here Tuesday, but he usually is, but he may not.
So can I get your number from him, and then I'll go ahead and I'll give you.
524-5227, but let me make sure about that.
I appreciate it. You know, because you know, it's, it's not getting any better, you know, we know that. And,
We've got another one out here, on Curtis, Relay. It's just the same situation.
Airport Road's got one, they're having problems, same thing.
not my
People
favorite
build
place.
these places and they misrepresent themselves. And people don't look into it strong enough to find out really why.
But I would figure the governing body would have the final say.
Well, he's the one that's got the specs on what it's supposed to be. You know, all of them need to be the same, you know.
Yeah, they do, and it's unfortunate, we're paying for the sins of our father. And,
Yes, sir, it's 5227.
5227,
Let me
okay,
write
thank
it
you.
down for you. You got it. I was in a similar situation prior to this. My younger days, I lived up on Holman Lake, and the road around the lake was all privately owned. We maintained it and everything ourselves.
I know
Okay.
what home is.
Okay. And I lived there for 15 years, and we was wanting to up it, put a little oil and chip on it. I personally, because I was the manager of the lake, basically, went around, there were 60 lot owners, and I went around to get a little donation from each one of them to oil and chip it from the crossroads into the lake. And back then, I think it cost us $1.25 a foot. But we got enough money, but like you said, out of 60 people, 40 of them gave money. The other 20 want to step back and get something for nothing. But anyway, we oil and chipped it all the way into the lake. And then later, after I left, they went ahead and got it on around inside the lake property itself. They never did turn it over to the county, but they did oil and chip it on their own. That's just something, we knew that when we bought a place up there.
Why wouldn't they turn it over to the county? It seems kind of.
Well, we couldn't, it wasn't up to their standards. I mean, the little bitty narrow road, one lane
Yeah, that's
road.
true, yeah, it is.
Now, the one going from the crossroads into the lake, it is county.
Okay.
Yeah, we had it full width all the way out.
Okay.
And of course, that was 20 years ago. And, but then from the gate in, it was all private because it's too narrow. I mean, you just get a car through it and that's about it.
But, one of my questions is, every time you oil and chip, every time you plow it, you just stop dead there and it just doesn't seem.
I understand it. You guys are in a terrible situation out there.
Seems like we're getting, we're the black sheep of the family, and we shouldn't be,
Well, Frank, does all that sewage come to that pond? Everybody's out there. I
It
know one
comes,
guy has
yeah, well, we've got, down in Weevil systems, a lot of it goes to, we got a couple.
Oh, they have those out there?
Yeah. I would love to see the city get, sewer service out there. What I really would love to see is to get sewer service and do the roads at one time. And put sewer in the roads but that takes money.
Right now, you don't pay for sewer system, do you?
No, we just pay for but for the
Well, if you go to
benefits
city,
of the road, we'll pay for the sewer system, At least I know my money's going somewhere for something I'm getting any use out of. I mean, my money to the county to me is just like throwing it in the trash can. I'm sorry. But I don't see any, what services are you providing me out there? Well, my wife and me who's never had children in the school system, we don't have good fire protection, we don't have good police protection, we don't have, what do we have?
Well, you got good city, police protection out there. I'm sure they keep a close eye on that.
I think probably in the 4.5 years I've been there, I'll be lucky if I see 2 police cars there.
Well, you mean just drive through? You got a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
But
I like to keep it that way.
That's what I'm saying. If you're needed, I'm sure they would respond to what I'm saying.
And that would be county.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how Thunder Man the county is. I mean, it's fact of life. But I guess the next step is I'll contact Larry and see what he wants to do. And, I would really appreciate any help you can give us to steer us in the right direction. I probably think the way the economy is, and the number of houses that are going for sale out there, probably I'm just fighting a dying issue. Because, you're talking $700,000 to probably pave that road and bring it up, so you got 47 homes out there, I think. And you're talking $3,000-4,000 apiece.
Frank, at one time, the county engineer, the road was chipping up, but he's gonna let them patch that and take the road. But, the shoulders was the problem. So, unless the road fell completely through, all the way through, he said that you could patch it and he would take it.
We got washboards coming up, oh, yeah.
There never was a base put down. I think that's one of the main problems.
I think Aubrey Jeffords built those.
Yeah. He didn't put a good base down, it's just falling all apart. I've drove it myself several times, yeah, it didn't have no base under it.
I tell you, this looks too bad today. Go there at night with the headlights on.
You can see it better
Oh,
from
man, it is.
especially right there when you basically crossing that line, there's an area there that's really bad. In the subdivision itself back there, the roads aren't too bad, but right there in that one area, I don't know what caused that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, maybe they could just take it up and put a base in there or something, I don't know.
I'd like to see where we can get done. I know it's.
Well, I hope we helped you a little bit.
But now, we'll see what happens. We'll see what shakes out. We can only do what we can do with, what we can do with.
That's right.
Can't do it, well, eventually you're bad enough or somebody will have to do something. My biggest thing, I love to see the city take it over, probably just, selfish, but, to get a good sewer system in there. And
Yeah,
do the
benefits of the
do all that whole thing, yeah. That would make it a more attractive place to live.
Yeah.
Because right now, the condition of the roads and lack of sewer system actually depreciate the home value. But I appreciate you people, you guys steering me in the right direction. And we'll go, I'll talk to Larry, and if Larry wants us all to meet again, we'll go through him, if that's all right with you.
Sure. We'll do what we can.
I appreciate it.
Just wish we could do more for you, but all we can do right now is point you in the right direction.
I wish you could do more for me too. It's just an unfortunate thing that, I know there was some controversy in how they even got some of the stuff done they did, but just like, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in, Mr. Walker.